Hi everyone, my name is Andifo Nomoa. I'm here to talk about understanding the virtual assistant role, what makes a good virtual assistant, my personal strength as a virtual assistant, my growth areas, my mindset, grit, and personal growth, and my virtual assistant journey ahead. First of all, I want to talk about who a virtual assistant is. A virtual assistant is a professional assistant that helps organizations, business owners, and companies with documentation, responding to mails, customer services, scheduling of appointments and meetings, task management, profiling, and travel booking and travel scheduling and arrangement. A virtual assistant is not just someone that it's not just someone that does all of this. It's someone that is a professional backbone, is a backbone to a successful business or an operations going on. A virtual assistant is also someone that helps a business organization. Like, we used to know that a virtual assistant started as a secretary, but it evolved as technology evolved, and the evolution of technology also evolved the role of a virtual assistant. So a virtual assistant is much more than a person that arranges files in the cabinets or responds to mails and scheduling tasks. A virtual assistant is also someone that helps the company grow. And there are a lot of roles that a virtual assistant plays, and it also depends on the client or the company that is employing the virtual assistant. The virtual assistant can also work as a content creator. Also, a virtual assistant can also work as a manager, HR, research informations, and a lot more. Virtual assistant role is very versatile, is very vast, is very broad, and coming to the fact that there is AI technologies now assisting the work of a virtual assistant. But even though the existence of AI, it can't take away the work of the virtual assistant, because when it comes to virtual assistants as a person, virtual assistant manages clients, which an AI cannot. A virtual assistant also speaks with the client with empathy and human skills, which the AI cannot. So, no matter the evolution of AI technologies, virtual assistant will always play a very vital role in the society, in organizations and companies. What makes a good VA? What makes a good virtual assistant is her mindset, personal strength, a communication skills, because a virtual assistant must have a good communication skills to be able to communicate to the client and to be able to communicate clearly and with clarity to the client or the company or any business owner or anybody she comes in contact with. Virtual assistants must be able to present herself professionally to clients, companies, and makes everything easy for the the employer, because for example, if an entrepreneur or a small startup business employs a virtual assistant, what will help that business to grow is a mindset, a good communication skills, a professionalism, and a commitment. Because if a startup small business is employing a virtual assistant to work for her or them, the virtual assistant will also have to know that it's a startup business. Okay, what is really in this is good communication skills and responding to mails and good customer care services. My personal strength in virtual assistant role is I have a good communication skill which I acquired when I was a pageant queen, and my growth mindset. No matter how difficult a task is, I will always want to keep trying, no matter how many times I fail, because failure itself is part of learning, and failing without trying again is failure itself. But if I fail, I keep trying because I know there is nothing impossible when it comes to virtual assistant role. And in this technology age, my personal strength also is my empathy and my sense of judgment, because if I'm working for a consultancy firm and coaching firm, I'll get to deal with different personalities, experiencing different persons from different angles of life, and you get to speak with them with empathy. And what will make me outstanding and successful as a good virtual assistant is my ability to communicate with clarity, communicate with empathy with my clients. And my growth areas are more of administrative structure and transcribing and scheduling of traveling appointments and scheduling of task meetings. I I may not have a good knowledge of Trello, but with my growth mindset, Trello is an app used for task management and completion of tasks to check how the task is going. And as a good virtual assistant, my mindset also is a very, very important part of the job, because if I don't have a growth mindset, it's going to be very difficult to excel in my role as a virtual assistant. So, a growth mindset, grit and perseverance, and professionalism. Because for growth mindset, no matter how difficult a task is, a virtual assistant will always come up with a solution. And no matter how difficult a client is to work with professionalism, a virtual assistant can actually handle a very difficult client. And my journey ahead as a virtual assistant, I wish to be a very successful virtual assistant with my growth mindset. I'm ready to persevere, I'm ready to explore all the tools available for a virtual assistant to use in working. I'm ready to explore all the apps and task management tools, Canvas used for designing sometimes, and more of traveling scheduling. And I see myself in the next few years a very successful virtual assistant. Thank you.